be a little bit of friendly rivalry. Is there a little rivalry here?
No, friendly.
We've been doing long practices after school every day. If we feel we've practiced hard, we feel we'll be up there. We'll be up there at the top order.
These kids have been practicing before school, after school. Many of them since last year, hoping to bring home one of the prize trophies in this year's race. Success means long, tiring days on the lake, hard, sore bodies, but in the end, they all say it's worth it.
And then you spend 3 months preparing for it, and it's really a honor if you win it, even to finish the race. I remember one year there was 35 boats and 14 completed the race, and it was an honor just to complete the race that year.
Welcome to the 1992 Cayuco Race. I'm Army Sergeant Greg Calhoun, your host for our annual look at this 3-day event. The Cayuco Race runs a course that starts in the Cristobal Yacht Club and finishes 3 days later at Diablo Heights. Strong winds, rough lakes, and a blazing sun. Most of the crews are already here, and there's a captain's meeting about to start. Right now, let's go down to the waterside and talk with the men in charge of canoe traffic, Assistant Racemaster Bill McGann.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you is, what is a trophy boat?
Trophy boat consists of 4 Explorer Scouts. The Explorers are the age of 14 to 21 that compete in the race, the 3-day race, for a trophy in the category of trophies. There's 4th place trophies for each of the individuals that win. The way it's broken up is trophies and patch boats. The Explorer Scouts can receive a trophy, and the patch boats receive just patches for participating in the race itself.
Okay, who would be in a patch boat?
A patch boat would be anybody that wants to have a fun time traveling ocean to ocean in a Cayuco. Could be anybody that's not an Explorer Scout, but over the age of 21, and you can mix them up to male, female, co-ed boats, whatever you want, but anybody that wants to take the dare to go across and have experience, like I said, of a lifetime.
But all the racers are in some way affiliated with Explorer Scouts, right?
The Explorers themselves are just the kids that are involved from the age of 14 to 21. The rest of them just sign up to participate in this.
You know, this is 3 days, it seems, of torture, a lot of work out there on the race. Why would anybody want to do this?
Well, again, it's a chance of a lifetime. Not too many places in the world you can go from ocean to ocean in 3 days, the way the race is set up. Most of it's personal goals and just an opportunity to compete.
What sort of rule changes have been put in place for this year?
Relatively no rule changes. We have one trying to make uniform the boats and the crew, and we're trying to keep the people that are in the boats in some type of a uniform, which they've really accepted and look forward to doing. The main concern we have in the rules is just strictly safety. And the biggest rule that we're going to push this year is if a person were to get sick or just not be able to paddle for whatever reason, that the Cayuco itself stop, have the person in a life jacket, put in the water, and not leave him until an escort boat is in his possession or in his grasp.
Bill, you got a busy 3 days ahead of you. Thank you for coming by and talking to me.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
The captain's meeting has just completed, and the Cayucos are ready to hit the water. With me right now is Racemaster, Dr. Marcus Ostrander.
What exactly does a Racemaster do?
Well, the Racemaster is the chief official of the annual Ocean to Ocean Boy Scouts of America Cayuco Race.
How many races of boats are involved in this year's race?
This year's race is a rather large race. We have about 40 trophy and patch Cayucos involved.
This, I think, is the 39th Cayuco Race. Have you got any idea who thought up this idea?
Certainly. Back in 1953, when we had our first race, the Panama Canal Council of the Boy Scouts of America created the race because they felt it would be a good idea for a high adventure program for the Explorer Scouts to race from ocean to ocean in the Indian dugout canoes. And as the race has progressed, that year, I think the record across the canal for the first place boat was about 10 hours and change. Now it's about 5 hours and change, so it's gotten quite sophisticated.
These kids put a lot of work into it. Why do you think that is?
Well, they love this race. It's a premier event for these youth here, the high schoolers and junior high schoolers in the canal area. Even we have a lot of college kids junior college. And they love this race. It gives them a real high-adventure event, and it's very competitive. And it has a lot of tradition to it. So I think it's the combination of tradition and competitiveness.
I've seen kids from the Pacific side, for instance, come over here to train and stay for a weekend, get up at 6 in the morning to get out there. What do you think drives them to do that?
The competition, it's such a high honor to score well in this race and to be the winner of this race. It's just the greatest honor for these kids. And basically, the top boats now put in a day and afternoon practice. They have to in order to be right up there.
Which boats do you think are the top boats in this year's race?
Well, without giving you names, I think that definitely the defending champion comes from a good racing stable in Gamboa. The Misconception is going to be up there. We have some fine boats from the Pacific Coast 21 and some fine boats from the Atlantic. And we have some Panamanian rovers also involved this year. So it's going to be a very, very competitive race.
Now, there's something about your hat. You have some beads up there. Can you tell me about that?
Right. Those are the Race Master's beads. I made these myself, and I signed them. These are perpetual beads. They don't have a year on them. But they're actually color-coded, and the winners of each stretch get one of the beads. The Gold Coast here stretch today is the gold bead that you see, and tomorrow the lake portion is the green. Then the Culebra Cut is the red, Miraflores Lake is the white, and of course the Pacific section is the blue. And so definitely the crews are vying to try and get a full string of beads always, you know, be the first across the finish line, and it's a big thing for them. And that's what it is. This is a symbol of the Race Master.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out and talking to me. I'll see you Sunday night at the award show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here with you.